So when I touch on these questions and my responses to them, these are all my own responses, my own personal experience, and my own opinions on why the question is problematic. These are also questions that I wouldn't feel comfortable walking up to a trans person and asking them because I would think that they would offend them. So these are not questions I would ask other people. So as I go over these questions, when I talk about me, it's coming from my own personal experience, and when I say you, I'm pretending that you're the one asking me this question. Just a trigger warning up front, since these questions can be triggering, there will be language used that have been involved in problematic and triggering questions. Can I see your scars? If I've disclosed that I've had top surgery or a hysterectomy, this question will come up. But if I want to show my chest or my torso, I will show it. Asking me to show my scars comes off as, one, you needing proof that I'm trans, and two, you're simply just curious about the way that they look. For a bit after top surgery, I was really uncomfortable with showing my chest, with showing my scars. They were not something I was proud of. I didn't know if I would ever be okay with them. I'm totally comfortable and okay with them now, but like I said, I wouldn't feel comfortable asking someone else to show me their scars unless they are comfortable showing me on their own free will. Scars can be really triggering, they can be really terrible, they're not something that someone necessarily wants to flaunt or be proud of. Some people are proud of them, others are not, and that's totally fine. I'm proud of mine now, but honestly, for the first few years after top surgery, I was really ashamed and embarrassed by them. And when someone asked me if they could see my scars, I would be like, no, I don't want to show them. But you don't look transgender. This question is tricky because I think a lot of times people think of it almost like it's a compliment, sort of like saying, oh, I could never tell. But basically what these comments and questions imply is you're assuming that all trans people look one way, or that all trans people are obviously trans and you would obviously be able to tell from looking at them that they're trans. That's not the case. I look like a lot of other guys who look a lot like me, and the same goes for pretty much anyone. There's no one way to look trans, there's no trans look. You're just you, I'm just me. So saying that I don't look transgender is basically invalidating my identity and saying that you don't believe that I'm trans, or that I look too much like a cisgender male to be trans. Neither of those are things that I find to be a compliment. So now that I've listed a whole bunch of the questions, that's just some of them that I've been asked that I find inappropriate, you may be asking yourself, well, Sky, you've shared your scars, you've shared your surgeries, you've shared your testosterone, you've shared your birth name, you've shared a whole bunch with us in the past, so what's the deal? Well, I've chosen to offer this information. That was my personal choice. There wasn't someone asking me, hey, Sky, show a picture of you back when you were a girl. I was like, you know what, I feel comfortable sharing this picture, so I'm going to share it. That's what it comes down to, is the choice. I chose to offer it. I wasn't told to offer it. No one asked me to offer it. I chose to offer it at a time when I felt comfortable with sharing that information. Not everyone is going to be comfortable sharing the things that I've shared, and that's totally fine. They may never be comfortable with it. We're all different people. Like, some people are so open and able to talk about their sex lives. I don't ever want to talk about my sex life. It's just not something that I'm comfortable sharing. So we're all different. Some people might be okay with these, others are not. I'm only speaking for me. Basically what I'm trying to say is that although I'm comfortable sharing this information with you, my birth name, my surgeries, it's wrong to assume that others would be comfortable with that. So part of the reason why I made this video series was to also talk about how I ask these questions. Now, I don't ask them in the way that I just showed you the potential of asking them, but the way that I go about asking questions to other people. And as a trans person, I do like to ask questions to other trans people. I like to hear about their experiences. I like to hear their stories. And so what I've been doing in order to open up those conversations, this is what I personally do. When I meet a trans person who's not like one of my BFFs, and we are talking, this isn't the first thing that comes out of my mouth. Like, let's say we go get a coffee, I'll be like, hey, do you mind if I ask you some questions about your transition? If they say no, then I'm like, cool, that's fine, no worries. If they say yes, I always follow it up with, well, if I ask you any question that you don't want to answer or makes you uncomfortable, just let me know, or just say no, you don't want to answer it, and I totally respect that. I don't intend to offend you at all, so I just want to say that you can absolutely not answer it, and that's fine by me. Basically, I approach asking questions with first asking if it's okay to ask questions, and second, letting the person know that it's okay if they don't want to answer it, because I know that I've said, yeah, sure, ask me some questions, and then someone asks me a question that I'm super uncomfortable with, and then I feel really uncomfortable and feel like, well, I just said you can ask me questions, but now I want to say no. So I like to just get that out of the way. That's just me personally. That's what I do. So that's just my advice if you want to ask questions to me. Go ahead and phrase it that way. I find that to be comfortable, and that's how I approach other people. But by no means is there a right or a wrong way to go about it. Just giving you an idea of some questions I'm uncomfortable with, giving you an idea of how I go about asking questions. So thanks for making it through all these 3 videos. If you did, have a great day.